It's no longer news that government has failed in Nigeria at large, and in particular in the southeast. So this is one of the reasons for the clamor for the restoration of Biafra. And I made a video telling us that while we wait for Biafra to come, there are some things we need to start doing to put in place as a pointer to a fact that yeah, we want to separate ourselves. So we have to start doing things differently to showcase how serious and how ready we are, and that we are not going to be another Nigeria and things are going to be run differently. That is, if this is really, really, really what we want. So hi everybody, how you are doing? Good day to you all and welcome back to my channel. I do hope that your day is going on well. Well, you know, it's been a very sad week for our people, particularly those people in Onitsha, with all the fire incident and all the loss of lives and properties. So I want to quickly say my condolences to all the families of the bereaved. I pray that the souls of the departed will rest in peace, and I hope that the families will find the comfort that they need. It's only God that can comfort people in this kind of trying times. There's nothing anybody can say, and certainly I cannot say anything to that effect. I'm just going to send out my prayers, my thoughts, and my condolences. And I also want to wish the survivors well. I pray that you will find the help that they need at this time. I pray that you who have survived, that God will give you the hope to carry on, and that you will get the help that you need to start with. So that said, there are some links for fundraising that is all over social media. So I'll put up those links here so that you can also help out in donating if you feel like doing so. And if you don't trust these links or you are not sure how genuine the links are, there are also individuals who have come to social media telling their stories and how much they have lost, and they put up the videos of their shops and, you know, of themselves, and also writing the bank accounts and yeah, how you may reach out to them. So I also put those links here so you can check out the links and see how you can help. Or if you know someone who has been affected, I hope that you find it in your heart also to reach out to those individuals. I think the worst that we can do is to do nothing. I hope that, you know, we will imbibe the philosophy of Onurubewan Nabaloso, you know, and help out those in need. So that's all I want to say to that effect. So moving on. So one particular theme stood out throughout the whole incident and the whole tragedy. Everyone was calling on the state government, and, you know, showing that the state government failed, that there is no state fire service in case of such emergency, you know, just on the state. And very correct. I mean, there is every reason to call out to the state government, but if Nigeria was working the way it is supposed to be working, the way it is supposed to say that there are three tiers of government, meaning the local government, the state government, and the federal government. So there are three arms of government, and one failed, which is the state government. Where is the local government? Where is the federal government? So you see a country that is running on borrowed legs. They say they have three tiers of government, but none is working. You know, so in a case like what has happened in Onitsha, if things are working normally, it should be the local government that should respond first. The local government of that particular market, the local government where that thing is happening in Onitsha, first, before you start looking to the state government in Oka, which is another, maybe an hour drive because of the bad road. That is, even if they make it in an hour to Onitsha. So you can see that there is something missing. And then where is the federal government? When things like this happen in the north or even in the southwest in Lagos, you hear about NEMA, the National Emergency Management, or whatever they call them, NEMA. Where is NEMA? There was no NEMA. So there is nothing federal in this case. The next federal institution was in Asaba. So you have 3 tiers of government, and everybody is just calling on one and calling on Obiano, governor. Not that I'm excusing him, quite all right, but there is a reason there are 3 tiers of government. So in all indication, what am I saying? The government has failed, and so there is no need to overflog the issue. But we have to do what we have to do for ourselves. I feel that this is the time for us to call out Biafra and act it into existence. So, like the Bible says in Romans chapter 4 verse 17, it said, you call out those things that were not as if they were, and and act them. We need to start acting what we want, how we want it, and we have to start from our local government, from our market union, from social clubs. There should be institutions that will serve us, because the government has failed. So there's no need saying the government. No, the government has failed. So how do we want to bring about Biafra into existence? What of if Biafra never comes in our lifetime? What are we going to bequeath to our children? Is it just the complaining and the cries of marginalization? If you have it in our hand, we can do it. Fire occurrences are very rare, but when they do happen, the damage is immense. So sometimes you may be running a fire service facility for long and nothing will happen. So it will be like you are just running something that is a waste, paying salaries and stuff like that. So that is why most of the time you buy the equipment, you put the facilities in place, but the operators will be more like volunteers. This is my suggestion. And volunteers who will be working there and in shifts, so that you can be doing all your things when it's your turn, and everybody can contribute towards that, just in case if anything happen. So for the market supposed to have their own, and all these filling stations that you have within residential areas, it should not be so. So going forward, filling station, fuel stations should not be sited within residential areas. They should be somewhere out, somewhere not surrounded with living settlements, so that in the case of tragedy, it's going to be minimal. Another thing that was obvious to see was the dirtiness, the environment. It was so unkempt. It is not something that we should be proud of. So I would suggest that going forward, that when the markets are laid out, that they are laid out in a way that even if you want to have an intervention, there will be a way to come in, because sometimes you see some of the shops, they are so packed together and there is actually no access routes. So there must be access routes, and those access routes must always be in place. It's not like everybody will flood everywhere with goods, and then if in the case of an emergency, there will be no way to get help to those that need it. So I think these are some of the measures that can be taken. Then there is the issue of fire extinguishers. I will hope that people will be able to see the sense in having fire extinguisher, as according to how big your shop is, you should have fire extinguisher. It was so painful. I mean, what kind of helplessness will overtake somebody to see a large fire and be throwing a sachet of water on it? I think it's just crying out helplessness. So I just feel that we really need to encourage our people. Everyone should have fire extinguisher in their shops, and the market union should go around and make sure these things are in place, that everybody has theirs. This is something they will have to do it, and then there will be routine, fire alarms so that people can practice. In the case of fire, how do we conduct ourselves? So you can do this routinely and practice so that in the case of an actual event, you know, it will not be difficult to manage because people have already done the drills and they are used to it. You understand what I'm saying? So just like the fire extinguisher, there's also something that is called smoke detector. So smoke detector is something that detects smoke that is big enough to cause fire, and the alarm goes off. So if there is smoke alarm in every complex within the market, within every building, there is smoke alarm. So in the case of anything, the alarm will start ringing and then everybody will know what is going. So even before the fire is starting, the alarm goes out and the fire, everything is taken into control. So I do hope that other people, other markets all across the southeast, even all across Nigeria, will take some of these measures, you know, and prevent this enormous loss, because this is not the first time we are hearing about fire. We cannot just fold our hands and wait for another one to happen. So we need to do things differently and say, okay, we are Biafrans, this is our own way of doing things, not in the jagara anything goes way of doing it in Nigeria. If we really are serious, I believe people would like to see the difference, and I believe the people we are calling to support would like to see the difference, you know. So I believe when we put this kind of measures in place, there will be something different about how we are doing our things. Yeah, government has failed. So what we need now is communal protection measures, what we can do for ourselves, how we are envisaging Biafra to be. Let's begin to act it into existence. Even these fire services we are talking about, somebody can even take it up as a company, you know, and build the facilities, and it will be a private company, and it can also generate revenue for them, you know. And or we can implement the volunteer system. Anyhow, we need to act it into existence. It's time for us to take our faith, our hope, what we believe in, and act it out and let people see it. Yes, it's time for us to act it. Let's act Biafra into existence. I want to say thank you to all of you who watched up to this point, and please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so. Leave your comments and your thoughts behind, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye bye.